Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Ashley, and I know that I look funny with this headband on my head. I know that it's kind of comical, but I don't care because I have baby hair from babies, and baby hair from babies, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I've had no sleep in, I don't know, years, and so I know that I look, how I look today, but I wanted to get some things off of my chest, and I felt like this was the best way to do it. And I also felt like I haven't talked to you guys in a while, and I am all about transparency. That's kind of my thing. If I'm feeling a certain way or I am, whatever, I want to share that with you guys because that's what this channel is for. This channel is for motherhood. This channel is for women to come together, maybe not even motherhood, but women to come together and the struggles that we go through to make them known. And I want to do that. So I am thinking about all of life and all of the things of life right now. I'm re-examining everything right now. Um, Planners and how I use them to reorganize in our household and how we run it to keep me sane, and my mood and my Bible study and my prayer time and all of the things. Like, I'm just trying to re-examine every little thing because I need some change, and I feel like a lot of us are in that space right now, in that headspace where like we need some change because things just aren't working exactly the way that we need them to. With a lot of things that have gone on that are heavy, lost loved ones, and people that we see struggling, and scary things that are happening in our country. And even if you don't live in the US, like, there's a lot of countries going through that same thing, and just struggles and things that have happened in the past few years that are just rough. And we're no different. I don't want this to be a negative video. I want it to be a truth video, and this is my truth right now, and so I'm going to share it with you. And if it's your truth, then we can go through it together, and that's the purpose, right? So my truth right now, ladies, and perhaps gentlemen, is that I'm struggling. And when I say I'm struggling, I'm struggling pretty hardcore. I'm not I'm struggling kind of person. I'm fine and we're gonna do it kind of person. But I think there's something to be said about it, admittance of struggle, because like I say all the time on this channel, if you're struggling and your neighbor is too, but you don't ever say anything, then they don't think that they can say anything about theirs either. So you both suffer and struggle in silence, and you never help each other out when you could be helping each other through the struggle. But since you keep yours a secret, and so do they, you suffer in silence. And I'm not a suffer in silence kind of person. I don't think that we're meant to do that. I think we're meant to be a community, and we're meant to help one another. And so that's what I'm here for. So I say all of that to say I'm super struggling. This year has absolutely sucked for my family. Today is February the 10th, and so far today, at February the 10th, we haven't caught a break yet. So I was hoping February would be different. It's the 10th already. It's not been different. I'm hoping March, maybe Killian's birthday month is just this kickoff for this year, and it's going to be so much better. But so far it just hasn't. So as you guys know, I've already done several videos on it. We had a loss this year. It's the first miscarriage and only miscarriage I've ever had. It hit me very hard, and it hit me harder because of the trauma that went along with it. The actual experience itself in the hospital was absolutely horrible. I told you guys details of it in a video, but the care that I received was just not correct. The things that were told to me, you're not supposed to tell a patient, and just me kept waiting there for hours and hours and hours when they already knew the outcome, and they just let me sit there and lose it in a waiting room chair was just not okay. I should have lost our baby with my husband, who was waiting outside with no word in the parking lot with all of our children waiting for me in the hospital. I should have had that loss with my husband. We should have been just at home, you know what I mean? And then I could have gotten checked out afterwards. Like, there's so many different things that I wish had gone differently, but it didn't, and there's a reason for that, and that's fine. I give God glory because, like I told you in the story, when I did that video, I'll try to remember to link it in the iCards above or the description box below. But like I told you when I told you the story, there were so many people in that waiting room that I felt the Lord, and I feel like that was His comforting hand on me, and I will remember that for the rest of my life. The kindness perfect strangers showed each other, the kindness that I was able to show people, and the bond that I had with perfect strangers that I'll probably never see again, just showed me God in a place and a time when God seemed very far away. So I'm thankful for that. There's beauty in tragedy. But it sucked, right? And so we've been going through that, and that happened, just a month ago, a little over a month ago. And so, yeah, that sucked. And, this is the slow season and at Joshua's work, and it's actually gotten super slow. And because of all the things that have been going on the past couple of years, it makes it even more complicated, and a lot of things have gone on. And I'm not going to get into all that because it just is what it is, but it's just been stressful lately. This month in particular has been super, super stressful. These couple of weeks in particular have been super, super stressful as far as like financially. There's just a lot going on in our family right now, and it's been super stressful. Just tiny little things and big things are happening all at once, and it just feels like I told Joshua, I was like, it's God punishing me, which I know is not the case, but it's just like, that's what it feels like, right? Like when everything goes wrong and nothing goes right, and you just feel like, what is happening right now? I feel like that's what's going on in our household. We all got, the sickness, the thing, and it kind of trickled through, and the kids were sick in very weird ways. It affected them in like really odd ways. And I don't know if I've heard this from several people who have had it. Like, you think that you're getting better and you feel better and you're like, man, I'm over this. And then the next day is like, wham! Oh, no, I'm not. And this is worse than it was before. And new symptoms start to pop up, and worse symptoms start to pop up, and all these things. And then you start to feel better, and then you have a great day, and you're like, man, this is finally over. And then here you go again. It's like progress, regress. And it's been like that. I'm still having like, my eyes still get sore, and I'm still having like burning headaches randomly, and I'm just getting rid of this like dry cough. I'm still coughing, but not nearly as much as I was. And so we are getting better, but I had this all the way like a month ago, and I'm just now like really feeling like I'm getting over it. And, Joshua had it, his bad symptoms happened after my bad ones. And so at least we were able to take care of each other. So I'm trying to look at the positives in there, but, then the kids were sick, and their tummies have been bothering them randomly, and like really bad, like tummy problems. And they've been having headaches, and their eyes hurt. Just things that kids don't understand, why the heck my eyes hurt when I move them around. Like, what the heck's happening? And there's not much you can do about it. And so that's been frustrating, just because they've been grouchy and they've been feeling icky, and so they're stuck inside and they can't go outside, and plus it's blistering cold outside. Like, the wind has been insane, and it's been raining constantly. Like today's pretty sunny outside, but it's been raining nonstop until this week. So we're just now getting some sunlight, thank God. And it's been gray and nasty and just so frustrating. And so that's been stressful, right? Like, everybody's sick. Jensen's had a double ear infection. Jensen was running horrible fever nonstop. Jensen felt so bad. And when your baby is sick, it's so horrible, because they don't understand. They just feel terrible. And it's really hard to have a kiddo like that when you have lots of other kids to take care of, and then you have a baby that's that kind of sick. It's really just hard. And so it's been like that nonstop, and I just felt like we're never going to get over this. Like, what's happening? So that's been going on for weeks because we can't get rid of the ear infections, right? So now we have to have surgery. And so he has to have tubes in his ears, which is not like a complicated surgery. Killian had it. I know it's routine. It's like in and out super quick. But anytime you hear the word surgery and it has to do with your child, especially when they're under a year old, it sucks, right? So we gotta get that under control. We've got to get that scheduled and figured out. And so then with the shortages and staff shortages, that's pushed out further now because they don't have the staff to do that quickly. And so we have to wait a while before we get that done. And that's frustrating. And I hate the stupid headbands, and that's frustrating. And so I've just been going through it, you know, it's like a mind stress, you know what I mean? Emotionally and mentally draining. And so I haven't been sleeping at all. Like Jensen was waking up every 30 minutes. And then I had other kiddos waking up in the middle of the night because their tummy hurt, right? And then I literally just wasn't sleeping. For 3 days straight, I probably in 4 days I got 6 hours of sleep in 4 days. It was bad. I've since gotten just a little bit more sleep than that. Not much, but a little bit. It's not every 30 minutes. He's been waking up like every 2 hours for a while. And then, and you know, about 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, it's every hour. He's still having acid reflux. Like, it's just all these things, right? And it sucks, right? It's rough. And, you know, this might be TMI. I'm going to put that in the title because it totally might be TMI, but I don't care. But the day before yesterday, I started my cycle. It was the first cycle since I lost the baby. And that was hard. And it was harder than I thought it would be because it was kind of like PTSD, like the sight of it and how bad it is because my hormones are trying to regulate and because I'm breastfeeding. Like, menstrual cycles when you're breastfeeding are absolutely horrid. Like, why do more women not talk about this? It's absolutely horrid. And I've never had that before because I've always had an IUD, and I've always had, like, my period has just not came for a long time. Because I was breastfeeding, well, it didn't stop at this time, and it came like super early. And nobody talks about how horrible it is. It is absolutely horrid. I'm starting to like relate and sympathize with these women who have had like super bad ones and had to get put on medication for their menstrual cycles, and how horrible they were pain wise, and how heavy they were, and how absolutely terrible. Like, that's what it feels like for me right now. It's like the first couple of ones that I had when I was breastfeeding, like, were alarming. Like, I thought I needed to go to the doctor. That's how bad they are. Not just because of the pain, like I can suck it up and deal with that, but just because of like how heavy they are and how scary that it seems. But it's normal. It's just not normal for me. So it was very odd, and I had to get used to like, whoa, this sucks. And so I'm going through all of that, which is draining, which I'm not getting more sleep. So then it's more, and you know what I mean? It's like a head trip all the time. And we've been stuck at home. I have went to the doctor 2 times with the boys. And other than that, we've been stuck at home for over a month. So closing in on a month and a half. And I feel like these walls are closing in on me. And that's a struggle, right? Like, it's a struggle that we don't talk about. We don't talk about that because you're lucky and you get to stay at home and sit on your butt all day and you don't do anything. So you should shut up about the fact that you're tired of being inside. Like, but it's rough, you know, it really is. And, so all of these different things are really weighing on me right now. I'm having a hard time just because, like I said, this is my first cycle since that happened, and just the things that I had to see, where I had to like actually see my baby out of me and all of the trauma and the issues that caused. Like, holy crap, this sucks. You know, I'm just going through a little bit of that right now. Like, it feels bad. And, you know, the fact that I am stuck at home, and Joshua's been working, and working a little bit more and longer hours, and, still not making as much money as he would in the springtime. You know, it's really frustrating and really stressful, and I feel lonely. And I feel isolated, and I feel sad. and I feel gray and gloomy, and it's just not fun, and I'm just having a hard time. Like, my house is messy, and we're here 24/7, and so they're constantly making a mess. Like, to them they're just having fun, but it's a mess, and I'm trying to teach them how to clean it up. Like, we cleaned up their room and cleaned up the playroom yesterday. Like, they're still not done with their room. Like, it's just never ending, and I feel like I do things all day. Like, I cleaned and organized all day yesterday, but because I was stuck in like their closets and their drawers and their room, and I moved a piece of furniture out and got rid of it, because I was doing those things, like, it didn't show in the other parts of the house. Like, the main parts of the house, it didn't show. So now those are still messy, and I did all of these things for nothing. So we're going through that, and then we're moving in a couple of months, and we don't know exactly when my landlord is wanting to move forward, and we don't know in the house that we find when they can move forward, and we don't know when we'll be ready to pay huge chunks of money to people when they want first month's rent, and they want a security deposit, and they want an application fee, and then they want all of these things. That's just part of moving, which is fine, but the timing needs to be right to come out that much money, especially with the housing and rental market like it is. Like, I don't know if you know this, if you've been trying to rent a house lately, but they're like twice as much as they usually are. The prices are twice as much for the same rentals as you would rent. You would rent this house, 2 years ago. Now is like, whoa, okay, well, that's how much it's going to be. Okay, well, that's fine. So we're getting used to that, and that's okay. But it's just a lot of money to come up with at once. And so because of all of those things, we want the timing to work out correctly, and we don't know exactly when things are going to happen, and that's frustrating, and it feels like you're stuck in limbo. Like, things are going to happen, they're going to get better soon, but the soon, you don't know exactly when soon is, and so it's frustrating and stressful. And so all these things are running in my head right now. All these things are happening, and I'm struggling. And if you're struggling too, it's okay to talk about it, right? Like, it's okay to say that. It's okay to say, this sucks. I'm struggling. I'm not putting selfies on Instagram of me and my kids, and we're all piled up on the couch going and having big smiles. It sucks today. Today sucks. And I'm not happy about it, and I am in control of myself. I'm not going down a downward slope, but at the same time, I'm gonna voice that it sucks, and that I'm feeling horrible, and that I'm feeling super low right now, and I can allow myself to feel that. I think so often we try to shut out negative feelings, and shut out this and shut out this, and you shouldn't let yourself go down that negative, like, downward slope, right? Because you don't want to fall into the pit of like depression and all of these things. So you should try to focus on positive things, try to not dwell on the negativity, all of that. But you can allow yourself to feel things, and you're not a robot, and it's okay to say, I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to allow myself to wallow in self-pity and go into the depths. But at the same time, I am a human being who feels things, and I'm feeling bad today. I'm feeling negative things today. I'm feeling things that hurt, things that aren't fun, and I'm going to talk about it. That's okay. And that's what I'm doing with you. I'm just talking to you, because if you're sitting there in the same kind of situation or similar situation as I am, this is just slowly like riding up my head, like to fall off into the floor. But if you're struggling with things like that, like I am, then we can help each other, mama. We can help each other get past it and move forward. And if nothing else, if you're one of those people who don't like to talk about their feelings, and maybe you just watched this video and you're going through some crap, if nothing else, then you can say, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And that can help you through today. You might need an extra push tomorrow, but for today, you can think, I'm not alone. And I'm here to tell you you're not, because I know that a lot of us are going through some things right now. A lot of us are struggling. A lot of us are having a hard time, and it's okay. That's okay. There is a subscriber of mine, and her name is Lori, and she has been following me on my Creative Chaos channel and then this channel for a long time. And she is so sweet. And there are a lot of sweet ladies on here, like, that are so sweet, and I never would have met them otherwise, and I'm thankful to YouTube for that. But she's so sweet and precious, and she sent me a card, and it was a handmade card that is absolutely beautiful, and it just touched my heart, because there are people that see you, and you may not think that, you may feel alone, but you're not. There are people out there, and God will send a perfect stranger. She's not a stranger, but she is, right? Because we never met in person. And even though I feel like I've known her for years, I've never really met her. And God can send somebody that you've never even met in person to make you feel like you're not by yourself. You're not alone. Somebody sees you. Somebody sees you there. And that's important. It's important to have those connections with people, just like in the hospital waiting room with a room full of strangers, and I was connecting with those people. Like, God is in that, because that's what we were created for, is community, and we were created to love on each other. And the Bible says God is love, and showing God to other people and feeling God for yourself is in community and in each other. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be there for each other. So that's what I want to do. I don't want this to be a negative video or a I'm sad, feel sorry for me, or a self-pity video. No, girl, because that ain't me. What it is to tell you that I'm human like everybody else. And I'm having a really hard time so far. This year so far has just not been good to me. But that's okay, because even though this year hasn't been good, God is good, and it will get better. And I know that. But right now, it sucks. And right now, I just want change to come, and it can't come fast enough. And I'm just having a difficult time. And I want to share that as a video with you, to not be negative, but to tell you you're not by yourself. I've talked to a lot of people lately, and a lot of you watch this channel that I've been talking to, but I've been talking to some people lately who I know that are struggling too, and it's different ways, and it comes in different forms, and but we're still in it together. We're still both struggling. We're still going through things, and we can be there for each other. You can be a million miles away, and I can still be there for you. And I'm so willing to do that. So if you are going through something, I'll leave my email in the description box below. Some of you are on my Facebook. Some of you have my phone number. Some of you are, whatever. And you're more than welcome to talk to me in any form that you choose, because I want to be there. And that's why I do this channel, because I want to be there. And I appreciate you guys being there for me and supporting me and watching this and talking to me and all of the other things, because that's what life is about. It's about community, and we can't get through life on our own. No man is an island. We can't do it by ourselves. And so I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that if you are struggling and having a rough day, that when you watch this video, it gets better. I hope that your day gets better. I hope your night gets better. I hope your week gets better. I hope that you draw strength from this video and others, and that God sends strength to you today. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.